Hi, everyone. For those of you that met me this week, you might remember that my name is Jessie Ammons, and I am the EMC coordinator here at Polk Library. For those of you that missed me, I am a librarian that works with our education students on campus. And I'm just doing a quick video today to show you how to find a journal article for your assignment. So the first thing that students usually ask is, why is it even important to find articles, to be able to find them for when you're teaching? And as somebody who's been in a school myself, teachers at all levels and all discipline areas, all subject areas, are expected to continue their professional development. So this is something that your principals and your administration in the schools that you end up in will expect you to do, to continue your professional growth. Usually you'll have goals as part of your evaluation, and showing that you know how to look up materials from different journals that are for your discipline area is a great thing when you're in the schools. It's best practices for your teaching. It will help you become better and more reflective teachers. It helps you keep your teaching current, see what trends are in your areas, your subject areas, um, when things change. It will help you expand your understanding of literacy and how that fits into every subject area that we teach. It will just help you continually enrich your teaching as you gain experience in your field. So the second question that I usually get is, okay, fine, but why can't we just use Google? That's what we're used to using. So we're going to talk about this a little bit more when I see you in a couple weeks, but just in general, when you're getting research, you want it to come from vetted sources. As you probably know, Google pulls from different sources everywhere. Now, does that mean that Google has all bad information? No, there's plenty on Google that have websites that have great information, but you have to know where to look. And so it's better just to start from a place where you know you're getting good, high quality, peer-reviewed information. Often on Google, you'll see incorrect or bad information, and if you're not staying current, then you may not realize that it's not good information. The other thing about Google that a lot of people don't realize is it's pretty hard to find relevant resources. You might think, oh no, I always get the best websites when I do a search, but and that might be because the algorithm, you've been doing the same kinds of searches, and so maybe it is filtering out some of the lesser known or the information that's not as good. But again, if you know the right places to go, why not start there? So when we're talking about doing research, and this is for your classes, but also for when you're doing research in the field, there are a lot of different types and different places that you can go to get information. So you're probably used to doing a lot of research at the popular level. These are things that you'll find on Google, just sort of general articles where they don't have specialized vocabulary. It's pretty uncomplicated writing structure. It assumes that the person reading it does not have any understanding of that topic area. So it does a lot of explanation for you. Um, some examples are places like Time, Time Magazine, CNN, New York Times. Those are sort of your basic level places to get information. But as you're moving into your field, you want to get more specific types of information that's created by professionals in that field, not just somebody who was hired to be a staff writer. So the professional materials are more written at a high school level. They start getting more specialized vocabulary, and they assume that you have some understanding of the reader, some understanding of the topic by the reader. They might be written by staff writers, but usually those staff writers are in that field, so they know a little bit more, or they're written by professionals and experts in the field. So examples of this might be Business Week if you're a business major, or Principal for people who are school administrators. So these are good, and sometimes you're going to find journal articles in this category that will work completely fine for you. Often you will. Probably in your other classes, you've been doing academic research, and as you know, that's usually written at a much higher level. The vocabulary is pretty specialized and pretty complicated, and it's assumed that you would have a deep understanding of whatever the topic is. So generally, our academic articles are written by researchers for researchers. And this is where you see those journal articles that can be, 20 to 30 pages that are mostly text. And we'll see some examples of that when we do a quick search. So for your discipline areas, there are quite a few places that you can look for information. On our website, which I will pull up now, we have subject guides to give you a little bit more of a specific area to start when you're doing searching. So you can do a general education search and go to ERIC, or you can look at the ones for your disciplines. So we do have a fine arts subject that would cover art, music, and theater. And you can see it gives you a little legend here to show you which ones are good with which area. Probably because you've been taking classes in this discipline, you're familiar with some of these databases, but for example, Art Store, it tells you it has images. So that one's for images. If I was looking for music, I might go to Music Index here. So these are just links to different databases that might be good starting points for your research. Okay, so let's go back here. And for foreign languages, we do have a subject guide, English and foreign languages. And then for PE, generally the best place to go would be nursing and allied health, but most of you are probably familiar with Sport Discus. That is the database that is the best for pulling Phy-Ed specifically. But the other thing that you may not be familiar with is searching in specific journals to find articles for your discipline. So for your class, if you're on our homepage and you scroll down and you go to website search and type in 442, you'll get this result that says Literacy and Language 442. And this is the course page for your class. So you don't need to worry about these bottom four. All you need to worry about is the one that says research for this assignment. So here you'll find ERIC, that education research database, and then different databases for each of your disciplines. So again, Phy-Ed, Sport Discus, and CINAHL. But here you'll see a list of some of the top journals that write for your discipline area. World languages, a few databases here, and then here are your journals, and then music and art as well. So if you're looking for your article, one thing you can do is choose a specific journal. So I will choose the Journal of Teaching in Physical Education. So I'm going to go back to our homepage. And instead of looking at a database, I'm going to click on journals. So you're probably familiar with this, but journals are kind of like fancy magazines that are specific to your subject areas. So instead of putting in my topic, I'm going to put the title of the journal here. And then I'll search. And you want the option that says online access. So I'm going to click here. And this is the database that gives us access to this journal, EBSCOhost Sport Discus. Now, if it's an EBSCOhost database, you see the option search within this publication. Then you can put your search terms here. So let's say I was looking for nutrition. Now I'm only seeing 4 results, but that's because I'm searching specifically in this one journal. So then I can look and see if these articles might be what I'm looking for. So that's a really good way to start with your research, is looking at those specific journals for your disciplines. Also, don't forget, and I'm sure you remember this from your previous classes like Writing 188 and COM, but when you're searching in the databases, you don't want to put in questions like, my example is, how can I integrate read aloud books meaningfully into a unit about nutrition? So you wouldn't want to type that whole question into the database because the databases use keyword searches to find the best articles. So you want to think about what your main ideas are from your topic area. And it doesn't have to be a question, but whatever your main ideas are that you're thinking about. So for my question here, it would be read aloud and nutrition. So I'm going to put read aloud nutrition in one box and read aloud in the other. And unfortunately, it doesn't look like there are any results in this journal, but that might be a time where I go back and look in Sport Discus in general. So I'm going to actually take out the journal title. And don't forget that sometimes they'll give you these ideas here. So maybe I'll put that in. And then I'll say read aloud. And yeah, it looks like it doesn't have any results for this one either. So if that's something that's happening, it might be time to go look in one of the more generic education databases. You might be finding more specific literacy based if you look in a place like ERIC. So let me try nutrition and read aloud. And I'm actually going to put physical education in this one to make it a little bit more specific. So it looks like that topic area doesn't have a lot about it. So that might be time for me to reconsider and think about something else to use. But try a couple different journals, try a couple of the different databases, and see what you can find. So that would be the end of my presentation. So this was a pretty quick one. I do want to call your attention to our 24/7 chat button here. If you click it and ask, can you help me find articles about this topic? We will help you find something. However, and I say this in most classes, and I probably said it to you last week, we don't do your homework for you. So what we try to do is send you to the right place. But if you're getting really frustrated, try it out and see if it helps you a little bit. So if you have any questions, feel free to email me or make an appointment with me through research assistance here, and I'll be seeing you in a couple weeks. So have a good one.